Yeah. How is it going, everyone? Wait for some people to get in here. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. One more time. I'm waiting for you guys. How's it going, Daniel Thompson? And Firesoul MLG, you actually were second. Nice try, Raven Legends. How's it going? Welcome to our Wednesday Q&A. A little later than I expected today. There was a little mix-up with my fiance. I'm watching my 2-year-old earlier, so now he's kind of napping a little bit. And my kids got home from school. They're off playing a Super Nintendo Classic Edition right now. Trying to get them on that Nintendo kick. So for the next hour to hour and a half, you guys got me here to ask me anything you want, whether it's Nintendo stuff, whether it's about my life, whether it's about sports, or really anything you guys feel like asking me. No, I'm not going to be doing shots and anything else during the stream. It is a day stream. Remember, during our day streams, we don't allow swearing and all that kind of stuff in our chat. So let's just get into it. We don't have any questions over on Twitch right now, so I'm going to go back to YouTube here. So first off, hey, Daniel Thompson, Firesoul, Raymond, Aaron DeFox, Super Mario, Crazy Muse, and M.O. Aaron DeFox TV says, yeah, direct tomorrow. Yep. I just got a video up about that. Like literally minutes ago, I got a video up about the direct tomorrow. So if and when you guys have time, you can go check that out. It's about 13 minutes long or so. Talks about my expectations for the direct. So it's like Super Mario says, what do you think of the Nintendo Direct coming tomorrow? As I said, I just put out a video about 15 minutes ago that talks about my expectations. I expect nothing major. If anything, I feel like there could be one brand new game reveal or one gameplay reveal of a game we already know about but haven't seen, like a Bayonetta 3 or a Metroid Prime 4. I don't think there's going to be a bunch of new reveals. I don't think there's going to be a whole bunch of shocking moments. I think it's going to be a bunch of new looks at games we're already aware of with release dates for games they've already been showing off, like Dragon Ball FighterZ, stuff like that. Maybe we'll see some more of Daemon X Machina. We're going to see the 3DS games that really matter at this point, which is the Yokai Watch games coming out on Friday, Luigi's Mansion, and, I already forgot what the third one is. That's how little I care about the 3DS line. Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr. something. It's such a long title, I forget the name of it. Q&A, do I hate Activision now? Nope, I don't hate Activision. Good question. I'm assuming that's coming off of my being tired of people laughing at Nintendo, but I don't hate Activision. Hate's a really strong word. I think I think there's two terms that people throw around way too often without fully grasping the meaning behind them. One of them is love. People use the word love for a lot of things. I'm guilty of this as well, mostly because society kind of trained me to use it all the time. When you don't really mean you love something, you're infatuated or you really, really like something. It's not the same as love. Love is a feeling that's like transcendent. And hate is kind of the opposite of that, right? Hate is a very, very strong statement. And I don't believe that hatred is ever necessarily a positive thing, right? Like, yeah, I could be disappointed in, Activision and Treyarch and their response, and I am. And I cannot like it, and I can hold that against them if I want. But hate them? They've never done anything to me to make me hate them. Like, it ain't come over and punch my kid in the face. I mean, Activision's not hurting me. So there's no reason for me to hate the company. I could dislike some of the practices. But that's not the same. It's just like I don't hate EA. Like, I dislike a lot of the practices going on, but it doesn't mean I hate them. Like, that is such a very strong term that people overuse. Or maybe they use it and they actually do hate the company, and they're making it way more personal than it really needs to be. I mean, we're talking about video games here, guys. We're not talking about world peace and war and hunger and disease. And, like, we're talking about video games. And don't need to be spewing hate. Crazy Mew says, just found your channel recently. I love your content. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks, man. I try. I really do. I really do try. Thank you so much. Yeah. Let me see here. What else we got here? Daniel Thompson says, if you think someone is going to be revealed for Smash, who do you think it is? I don't think we're going to get a character reveal. I think that's one of the options. We could get a character reveal for Smash. I think they're going to actually do what people maybe think they won't do, and that is unveil that new mode. I think they're going to unveil that new mode. I think it's going to be a story mode. I think there's going to be a small tease about it, kind of explaining what the story mode is, and then that's that. And the reason I say that they might do that in this direct, I say this in the video as well, is because Sakurai does not like spoilers for the story. So he's not going to talk a lot about this story mode before it comes out. But I fully expect him to unveil that it is a story mode. And that's going to be like the big Smash drop in this direct. And we'll hear a little bit more about it in, videos and Smash directs in the future. But for this direct, I think that'll be like the big thing. Be like, hey, remember this thing we teased a month ago? Here's what it is. And that's all we're going to tell you. Let your mind wander from there. Aaron DeFox TV wants to see Animal Crossing, of course. I don't think we're going to see Animal Crossing. Again, my expectations are very low. I went back and I looked at some prior directs they did in September, and I mean, yeah, I know, Doom and Wolfenstein 2 was like this big reveal last time, but Switch was in its infancy. It didn't have the sheer amount of games coming to it that it does now. I rattled off in that video like 30 games they have to talk about between now and early 2019, and it's like, how many more games do you really expect them to pack into this particular direct when they already have so many games to talk about? So my expectations are pretty low when it comes to new reveals. You just finished your organic chem homework. Nice, sweet life. What's up, Em the Moon? Blank Floof. I don't think 2D Mario games from Wii U won't come. They've been heavily discussed. I think it's possible, like, here's the thing. I don't consider the unveiling of another Wii U port to be a major announcement. Do you? I mean, I know there's people excited about the prospect of, like, a complete version of New Super Mario Bros. U, or like even a collection that maybe has Wii and the DS and the Wii U version all together in HD in one package. I think that's great. I think it's a cool thing to be excited for. How's it a major announcement? Like, if that's one of the big announcements from this direct, that's a disappointment. Okay, yeah, mention more Wii U ports. Go for it. But those aren't big announcements. Oh, bring Twilight Princess HD and the Wind Waker issue over. Great, cool. I'll probably buy them. Not a big announcement. These aren't new games. One of the big things that Nintendo's been chastised for most of this year is that beyond like 3 or 4 games, it's just been Wii U ports coming from them. So announcing more Wii U ports isn't really going to make me excited. I'm just being completely honest. So that's why I don't even mention it in my expectations video, because it's like, yeah, I guess I could have mentioned, more Wii U ports announced, but I mean, who cares? I don't care. So, Q&A, am I going to eat that Pizza Hut? This is from my lunch. This is cheese bread. I will probably eat it for my dinner with my kids. I actually have pizza over here. I ate about 2 slices of pizza earlier for my lunch. I had some of those reward points that you can like spend and get like free pizza and stuff. So I did that, and then I added on some cheese bread because I really like their cheese bread. I mean, I can make it at home, but I mean, it's like $4. And for $4, they can make it for me. Let's see here. Shadow King 1982 says, do you feel that the satisfaction of beating your rival is diminished now that your rival is friendly towards you in Let's Go Pikachu? For me, it sort of does. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, we don't know the full story. So, yeah, they're friendly towards me. But honestly, here's something I'm going to tell you in real life. I get more satisfaction out of beating Eric at something than I get out of beating people I don't really like that much. Like, when I play against a volleyball team full of players that I just don't like that much, it's great. It's a cool feeling when I beat them. But when I beat Eric, it's like a next level thing. So honestly, I think it makes it more realistic, because how many of us go through life with like a real rival, right? Like when you're a kid, there might be that kid you don't like or that bully you hate or whatever the case may be, but most of us don't really have rivals. We have friends. We have best friends. And we compete against our friends and our best friends. So to me, it makes it more realistic. It doesn't bother me at all. In fact, it makes more sense to me, at least thinking back on my childhood, than it does going up against a rival. Like, we don't have rivals. We have peers. We have, there's school rivalries, but that's like an entire school, right? Like sometimes individual players in sports that you beef with, but honestly, it's so much more satisfying knowing that I kicked my friend's ass than someone who I really don't care about. Let me see here. I want more Shin Megami Tensei 5 footage and Animal Crossing Switch. I don't think we're going to get... Shin Megami Tensei 5 has maybe a slight chance of being shown. I don't think Animal Crossing is being shown off at all. Nah, that'll be for like an early Direct Mini or normal Nintendo Direct in 2019. I hope. I don't actually know, but I'm pretty sure that Animal Crossing is not hitting this year. And they're not going to show it off this early. They're not going to want anything that's going to overshadow anything else that isn't already announced. And Animal Crossing is a massive IP. They're not going to let that overshadow all these other games. Nanotop said, I agree with you on that front because the Rathalos boss stage, but I think they might reveal a character still. I mean, they could. I think it's either going to be a character reveal or the new stage reveal. The new mode. I'm leaning towards the new mode. But it could easily be a character reveal, or it could be nothing. It is possible they're not going to show any Smash because they did do the Smash Direct, but I think they're going to show something, just a little something. It's not going to be a big part of the Direct, but it's going to be a part of the Direct that people talk about for a while. No, they should make a new Super Mario Bros. Switch. The problem with a new 2D Mario game is Mario Maker. It throws a big wrench in everything, because once you hand the ability for people to make Mario levels in their hands, it starts to make new 2D Mario games not as appealing, because why not just release new stuff in Mario Maker for people to play? I know Mario Maker isn't on Switch yet, but I think it's an inevitability, whether it's the current Mario Maker or if they release a new, Mario Maker 2 or something. I think that's far more likely than another new Super Mario Bros. Game. Do you think Sam Fisher from Splinter will be an Echo Fighter of Solid Snake in Smash Ultimate? No. I don't think we're going to see any more characters from that franchise at all. That franchise really isn't even on Nintendo platforms anymore. And we're lucky we have the one that we'd have anyways. So I don't think there's going to be any more Echo Fighters when it comes to that stuff. Besides, Splinter Cell is kind of a separate franchise anyways from... So, like, it would be weird. It would be weird if Sam Fisher got put in from Splinter Cell when it's not even the same IP, not even the same company as Metal Gear Solid. Like, it just does not make sense to me to do that. So, no. If they added Sam Fisher in, he would be his own standalone character. But I don't think they're adding him in anyways. If you look at all the Echo Fighters are from like the same franchise, basically, for the most part. So, there's those exceptions out there, but for the most part. And the ones that we sometimes think are the exceptions aren't considered Echo Fighters, if that makes sense. It's really weird. Just bring me new non-pixel games. That's all people want, variety. Well, as I went through in my video, there's like 30 games coming already that we know about that they could talk about. So, like, we already know about a crap load of games coming. Just no one's talking about those games because Nintendo hasn't drawn attention to them. So, now they're going to draw attention to them. I think a best of Wii game with maybe 7 or so Wii classics, not even remakes, just an HD version of games would be nice. Yeah, unlikely. That's very unlikely, Crazy Muse. If they do like HD remasterings of Wii games, they're going to release them individually and charge you $60. They already did it with Twilight Princess. They're going to do it again and again and again and again. If they were to go that route. Now, you could argue, the argument for HD or HD-ish things is really what's happening with... what is it called? Why am I forgetting it? The NVIDIA TV thing with the Tegra X1 in China. They've got Wii games on there that have been upscaled to HD a little bit. Not necessarily always full 1080, but pretty close. Sometimes more. And they're That kind of treatment is what I would expect for something like the Virtual Console, where they're not really retexturing the game, they're just upping the resolution and doing it in a smart way. That's something I would expect in the Nintendo Switch Online service for Wii Virtual Console. But we don't even know if we're getting more NES games at this point, so I don't really want to jump that far ahead. But that opens up the possibility. Let me see. Do you think a Smash demo will be revealed? No. Nope. I don't think they're going to do a demo event for Smash. Feels weird after all the demo events we've gotten, but I think they just know Smash is going to sell. They don't need a demo. Do I like anime? Says Joshua Stark. Yes. I'm not like the biggest fan in the world. Like, I don't just sit down and binge watch and stuff like that, and I don't search for it on Cartoon Network at night or like seek out things anymore. When I was younger, I used to watch like Foolie Cooley and some other ones. I kind of love FLCL. But One Piece is kind of like the big one that I really like, that I've seen a ton of episodes on, and it never gets old to me. But yeah, I like anime. I'm not going to say like I love it, but I like it. Cami Tenchi says, am I sad Adventure Time is over? I haven't watched Adventure Time in like 4 years. So, I mean, I have so many episodes to still watch if and when I want to that it's hard for me to be sad because it's not really over for me. Nothing's over for me until I actually see it all. Then once I see it all, then I'm like, oh, now it's over. I'm actually debating on if I want to restart the Game of Thrones TV series and watch all of that from the first episode up to the last episode before the final season launches. I'm debating on that because there's some elements in the show I'm forgetting or I'm mistaking with elements from the books, because there's things that happen in the books that don't happen in the show, things that happen in the show that don't happen in the books. So I'm thinking about rewatching the whole show, which, I mean, come on, it's Game of Thrones, but I mean, binge watching, 8 seasons or whatever of Game of Thrones is going to take me like months. So I'm debating on if that's something I want to do right now, because there's a lot of things I'm forgetting. I know it. I know there's events and certain things I'm forgetting that I think are going to matter in this season finale. It's not the same as officially made levels. I would buy a new Super Mario Bros. Switch and a Super Mario Maker, because people can make levels all they want, but it's still not the same. I know. Well, what I was saying is Nintendo, if they were going to make new 2D levels, they could just release them inside Mario Maker. They did that when Mario Maker came out. They gave us official levels to play. I know. It's not the same thing. I get what you're saying, Firesoul. I just don't think they're going to do that. I just don't see it coming. Sorry. I would love to be wrong, but I think the most you can hope for is like a port. Did I hear that Undertale is going to Switch? Yeah, that's an old announcement. It's not even like did I hear. That was officially announced and confirmed. So yeah, I know about that. The Champion of Morrowind says, what 3DS games would you like to see enhanced ports of on Switch? Personally, I'd like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, or the N64 Zelda remakes. I don't... None. I don't want enhanced ports. I want remakes. Like, I don't want Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D to just be like up-resed and come to Switch. Screw that. Remake those games from the ground up and give me the full HD proper Zelda experiences for those games that we deserve. Like, I don't want 3DS games just up-resed and ported over. Like, it's dumb. No. I don't want it. Like look at what they're doing with TUI. Like, it's not just like an up-res. It's a proper remastering of that game. That's what I want. And that's going to be a $60 product on Switch for a lot of games. So, like, I don't want enhanced ports. I want full remakes if we're getting 3DS games on Switch. So, and I don't think they need to do that for Pokemon, because we're getting a lot of Pokemon games all the time. We're getting some this year, we're getting some next year. I don't think it's really imperative of them to ever port Pokemon games. They can kind of let those games be part of that generation and leave it be. Let's see here. Sweet Life of Dio Brandis, HDMI to retro consoles usually is extremely expensive. Emulators are the easiest way to play retro games in HD. It's also completely illegal, but that's besides the point. I mean, not the emulator themselves, but chances are where you got the ROMs from, because you're probably not making them yourself, you're committing a crime. But that's on you. At least in the United States. I guess I can't speak for laws in other countries, because I don't know the laws in other countries. Am I hyped for Starlink Battle for Atlas? It is my most anticipated game of the year, so I would say I'm hyped. I don't talk about it enough or talk about it a lot. I have some video ideas I want to do for it, but yeah, it's It's like up in the clouds for me how much I'm excited for that game. I can't wait to see more, man. I have the last trailer they did during Gamescom downloaded on my computer. I swear I watch it like 2 times a day. Such a good looking game. And I know that trailer is featuring like, PC or Xbox, visuals or something, but man, I played it, man. I went hands on at E3. I haven't been that floored by a game since the demo of Breath of the Wild at E3 in 2016. Like, just floored me. The demo for Starlink just floored me. Oh, on Switch. So I can't wait. Have I watched Vikings? Yes, I have. I don't think I've seen the latest season, or maybe the past 2 seasons. I'd have to double check. Ever since, like, spoiler warning, the main character got killed, I think I stopped watching after that. I don't know. Is that show even still going past that season? I don't even know. What's up, sweetie? No, remember we're having dinner later. I know. I said no, not right now. Go. 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 You'll be fine. Anyways. Let's see here. Daniel Thompson says, this seems like a stupid question. Am I going to stream the Direct? It's not a stupid question. Normally, I would be like, yeah, I'm going to stream it. But my official response is, I don't know. It's at 5 o'clock, which is dinner time for my kids. I can, like, my daughter's going to be gone for most of the Direct, so that won't be an issue. My 2 sons won't be. Whether or not I'm basically... I don't really have anyone to watch them. I'm going to kind of see if my mom will maybe take the boys for a little bit, maybe for dinner, and then I could stream it. But right now, it's kind of up in the air. Normally, I would be like, yes, I'm live streaming that Direct, but I'm not 100% for sure because my fiance will be at work, and I don't know if I have anyone to watch the boys, and I'm not sure if I can entertain the boys enough, like with a movie or something, to be able to stream for like an hour. We'll see. I mean, I know it's weird because, like, you're doing it now. I'm like, yeah, but now it doesn't matter. Like, if my kids come in and they bother me, they bother me. It's whatever. It's a casual Q&A. This isn't a Nintendo Direct. Like, serious business there. Hey, Justin Caldero, he says, question, when will the Brewers stop being annoying? If they're annoying you, they're doing something right. Do you think Nintendo would put Twitch on the Switch? No. I don't think the Switch has enough free CPU cores to even put Twitch on there, so no. Like, they're not going to put it on there unless they're going to support streaming, and they're not going to support streaming because there's not enough extra CPU cores to support streaming games from Switch to Twitch. I know you could talk about, to watch it, but I don't think so. I think YouTube support's more likely. And there is a new app coming out. There's an app that, I forget what it's called. It's touted as the Netflix of comic books. So, like, it's a app that lets you read, zillions and zillions of comic books. That's coming to Switch. That's kind of cool. I don't know what it's called, but I might check it out. There's a lot of comic books I have not been reading over the past, like, decade that I'd probably like to check out if they happen to have the series I want to read. Question, do you have to buy the toys with the game? I've not seen the game on sale on its own. You do not need to buy the toys of Starlink Battle for Atlas. They're 100% optional. You can do everything digitally in the game. You do not need to do the weapon swaps or anything with the toys. I don't mind the toys from what I played, and I'm probably going to get the Star Fox one anyways because I really want the R-Wing. But, I mean, even just as a display thing to look at, I really want that R-Wing. But yeah, I'm probably going to have a mix of the toys and digital because I don't think I'm going to buy every single one of the toys. Who knows? Maybe I love it so much I decide I want to collect every single Starlink Battle for Atlas thing ever made. It's possible. Samus returns the Switch, please. If Nintendo doesn't want us to download ROMs, put Virtual Console on Switch. I mean, it doesn't really matter what Nintendo wants to do. If you want to commit a crime, that's up to you. I'm not going to chastise you for it. It's perfectly fine to make your choice. You want to commit crimes, that's up to you. I would prefer to stay out of any potential jail time. I run a business here. Last thing I need is my business being taken away because my ISP starts to get mad at me and reports me to the authorities. It's actually happened one time when I was younger. I'm not risking it ever again. I have not played a ROM since I was like 14. I got busted, and because I was a minor, they kind of gave me a slap on the wrist. I am not ever risking downloading a ROM ever again. Ever. It is not worth the risks to me, to my family, to anything to do something illegal. If I want to really play those games, you know what? There's legal ways to do it. I can go buy an NES and go buy the games. I know some of the games are really hard to get. I get that, but make more money. Video games is an expensive hobby. Retro gaming's a really expensive hobby. So that's first world problems, man. Question. Oh, I already asked that. They confirmed a Direct for tomorrow? Yep, there's a Nintendo Direct tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. 5 p.m. Central for me. Thoughts on Valkyrie Chronicles 4? It is... I don't have any thoughts on it, outside of the fact that it looks good. And it is the one game at E3 I regret I never went hands-on with. Both times I tried to get in the Sega line, it was closed. I should have just... The one time I could have got in is totally my fault. I forgot my E3 pass back at the hotel, so... Like, LA, it takes like an hour to get anywhere, so you have to drive like 45 minutes back to your hotel and then 45 minutes back to the convention center. And by the time I did that, the window I had to potentially get in the line was closed, and it's all my fault. I wish I would have played it, so I don't have any thoughts on it because I haven't played it. Let me see here. Nintendo wouldn't be the one to put Twitch on Switch. It's up to Amazon. It's also up to Nintendo. Nintendo has to approve of everything that releases officially on their platform. So Twitch can want to do it all they want, but if Nintendo doesn't want Twitch on the platform, it doesn't matter. So, beyond the new Smash amiibos, are amiibos more or less done? No, we're getting we're getting a Solaire amiibo for Dark Souls Remastered. We're getting a Mega Man amiibo for Mega Man 11. I'm willing to bet, obviously we got the new Smash amiibo coming for the new Smash characters. I'm trying to think now for other options where we got amiibo. We just had a whole bunch of amiibo for Zelda last year. And we had a new amiibo for Mario Odyssey. In fact, you can see the Mario Odyssey amiibo back there. I don't even have all of them. There's some I don't have. There is probably going to be new amiibo coming for the new Fire Emblem game next year. I wouldn't be so, Super Mario Party might not have its own amiibo because all those characters already have amiibo. But yeah, like amiibo ain't dead. I don't know why you would think it's dead. Nintendo's been consistently releasing new amiibo. So it might not be amiibo you care about, but they've been releasing them. Let's see here. See, Metroid Prime Trilogy? Sure, why not? I'd love to see an HD remastered or an HD up-resed port of the Wii Metroid Prime Trilogy. Thomas Mander says, how far into South Park The Fractured Butthole have I gotten? Not very far. I haven't played it much since that last live stream I did. It's been a time thing. I know I've been streaming a lot of Fortnite and stuff like that, but it's just been, I don't know. It's not that I have anything against the game. It's a hard game for me to play when I have to worry about my kids walking in. It's a lot different when it's on my phone, right? Like, when I'm playing on my phone or I'm watching a South Park episode on my phone, I could just hit one button and it goes away. But, like, my kids might walk in while I'm playing and I might not even realize it. And then next thing I know, they're hearing all the jokes and the inappropriate stuff that I don't think is they're ready for at their age. So it's a lot of... Because I'm a parent, I got to be really careful. It's the reason when I do Fortnite, it's usually late at night streams. And a lot of kids play Fortnite, and a lot of parents are okay with their kids playing Fortnite. Not in this house. It is a game about killing people. My kids are not allowed to play that. They are not allowed to play a game where you pick up guns and shoot people. I don't know why parents think it's okay for 7-year-olds to do that, but they think it is. Personally, to me, it's like, yeah, that game's fun. That's fine. Let's wait till they're older and they understand the differences between real life and video games. Anyways, that's just me. That's my parent side coming out on why I haven't played more of it. Next question. What happened to Crazy Justice? It's still coming. It's still coming. It's supposed to be releasing before the end of the year. The Brewers beat your Cubs the last 2 days, so that's what they're doing, right? Yeah. And they're about to sweep them tonight. Get the brooms out, and then next week when we go to your house, when we go to the Wrigley Field, Brewers are going to take the division back. Calling it right now. Sweep tonight, taking the division back in your house next week. Sorry to say, man. Brewers are legit. If you're a Cubs fan and you don't think the Brewers are legit, you have not been paying attention. And we've only gotten better. The Genius Battle DFG says, very sweet and awesome of to see you going live again. How are you today, sir? I'm good. Hope your awesome-tastic gaming adventures are going swell. Haven't actually played a game today yet. I'll probably play one here. Maybe after the stream. I'll probably play something a little lighter while I get dinner ready for the kids. I haven't really even decided what dinner's going to be yet. Part of me says, hey, I had pizza earlier. I should be nice and order them a pizza, but I'm not sure if they want to eat pizza. So we'll see. I'll probably cook something. I'm not sure. Maybe it'll be spaghetti. Or out of meatballs. Oh, God, they love meatballs. I don't know if they'll eat it if I don't make meatballs. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I haven't thought that far ahead. Figured I should have had that already planned out today, but it's been kind of one of those days. In your opinion, what is the age that I'm guessing you're saying kids can play those type of games like Call of Duty or Fortnite? The age? Gosh. It's going to be different per kid, right? Like every kid's different. Every kid's maturity level is different. Every kid's understanding is different. Some kids should just never touch those games because they are way too immature to really get it. Some kids can handle those games as, probably as soon as age 10 to 12. And this isn't me saying that like the games cause violence. It's more so exposure to certain media. Are you letting your 7-year-old watch rated R movies? No, then they shouldn't be playing games that are meant for adults. Like, why are we so like this is just weird as a society and as gaming parents. Why as gaming parents are we so like protective of our kids from watching things like rated R movies? But we're not as protective about them playing video games that are basically rated R. Why? Because it looks cartoony? It's still you killing other people. It's even if it's rated T for teen, whatever, which is I think what Fortnite's rated. I actually don't remember what Fortnite's rated or if it's rated at all. But yeah, it's dumb. When my kids are allowed to watch rated R movies, that's when they can watch. That's when they can watch or play those games. If that's at age 12, great. If that's at age 16, great. Sometime in their teenage years is probably when I would relax on that and let them do it. But and I don't care if they're worse than other friends who've been playing it for 6 or 7 years. I don't give a crap. My kids should be going to them and touting how amazing The Legend of Zelda is and how amazing Mario is and Pokemon is and Knack and, sports games and all the games I let them play. Like, they should fall in love with all these other games that they're not going to feel left out because they're not playing Fortnite and Call of Duty. Yeah, when they eventually play Fortnite and Call of Duty, they'll be fine, cool to fit in, but they shouldn't be afraid to, like, love other games and experience other things instead of just going with what the popular trends are all the time. I mean, Undertale is probably like a game that I wouldn't let my kids play until they're a little older, too. There's so many themes in Undertale, and my daughter can fully read. I don't want her asking me a zillion questions about death and all this stuff right now that she's just not ready to comprehend. But, there's always that certain point when you realize, okay, my kid's ready. They're ready. They can handle more of the real world. That's really, because you're raising your kids to deal with the real world. And real world is not a video game. So I need them to be prepared for the real world before I'm really ready for them to experience the nastiness that can be in a video game. Just me. But that's just me. If you want to parent differently and you believe in doing things differently, I can't fault you. This is just my beliefs as a parent, my beliefs growing up as a gamer, what I saw other people doing when I was a gamer, the way people talk to each other when you play video games. It's just, the gaming addictions that happen. Yes, you can get addicted to gaming. You can get addicted to anything. You can get addicted to folding paper, for crying out loud. So it's just an addiction I don't want my kids to necessarily partake in, especially like endless games like Fortnite. Like, it's just endless and endless and endless, and I don't need my kids wanting to sit there and kill people over and over again for 12 hours a day, not understanding the difference between real violence and a video game. Even if I explain it to them, they're too young, they don't get it. I don't know who to root for in those games. You guys are the Cubs. I mean, it's obvious. F the Cubs. They got their championship. Took them 100 years. Brewers don't have any World Series. I'll always cheer for the Brewers. You're never sure who to cheer for, Cubs or Brewers. Cheer for Brewers. I know, I think you're a Cardinals fan. But as a Cardinals fan, you should be cheering for the Brewers because you were, as long as the Cardinals win, the Cardinals and Brewers are gaining on the Cubs when the Brewers beat the Cubs. So like you should want to win the division. You shouldn't just be thinking of a wild card. So, and you still play the Brewers later, so you have a chance to put us behind you if you want, and you still play the Cubs later. There was a Shovel Knight amiibo announced as well. Hasn't that already come? I don't even know. Maybe it hasn't come out yet. I'm pretty sure it already came out a while ago though. I like how you're the stream boss now. Isn't it the first time after the beginning? No, it's like the third time. It's like the third time. I've been stream boss before. I didn't even pay attention. It happened last night. There was a kid who really wanted to play Fortnite with me. He's always been wanting to play with a streamer, and I was like, I don't know how old this kid is. Whatever. You know what? I have a rule, like for my Fortnite streams, where you have to super chat or donate to do duos and stuff with me. So I donated myself. I did it twice to let him play a couple matches with me, and then I became the stream boss doing that because the prior stream boss, which I think was Mr. Snappy Paws, was almost defeated. That's a bold prediction, but yeah, the Brewers are easily one of the top teams in NL this year. The Cubs are still the top dog in my opinion, but the Brew Crew's right there. The Cubs don't have a bullpen. I think that's been very apparent in this series against the Brewers. They don't have a bullpen. That's the Cubs' biggest downfall is their offense is very inconsistent, and they don't have a bullpen. I don't think the Cubs are actually the best team in the NL. And I'm not saying that like I think the Brewers are better. I just think like I just don't think the Cubs are like this head and shoulders team above everyone else like they were like last year and the year before. I think the Cubs have fallen back. Their starting rotation is not as good as it was. Their bullpen's not even remotely close to as good as it was. And that vaunted offense with the same players has been very wildly inconsistent and reliant on like late game grand slams and all this crap to win games. That's all fine and dandy. I ain't gonna fly in the playoffs. Teams are too good in the playoffs. Let me see here. As a child, our kid wasn't even allowed to play the original Smash, a violent game for a preteen. My kids will probably be allowed to play Smash. Yeah, I'd probably let them play Smash. I mean, they haven't experienced Smash yet, and I don't know if I'm going to let them play the new Smash. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to let them play Smash or not. I'll determine that when the game comes out. Minecraft and Ark. Is that Ark Survival Evolved? This is a great comparison and explanation. I appreciate your opinion. Thanks. Thomas Maynard. See, Justin Caldero, I'm sad for your child, Corey. That would have destroyed me. But see, Justin, if you've never played Smash, you don't really know what you're missing, so you wouldn't be destroyed. Like when you say, "Oh, you didn't get you don't let your kids play Smash or whatever." It's like, but if you've never played, you don't know. There's nothing to miss, so you're not going to be destroyed when you don't know what you're missing. That's kind of the thing. My kids don't know what they're missing in Fortnite and Call of Duty and all these things because they just don't get to play them. So they're not like, "No, Dad, I really want to play this." They don't even ask. They don't even ask. Yeah, my daughter, she's aware Fortnite exists, right? She's 7. There are kids in her class that play Fortnite. She's very aware of what Fortnite is. It's on YouTube Kids, for crying out loud. But she never asked to play Fortnite. She knows better. I have taught her that she is not old enough to play Fortnite. Like, to play a game where you shoot other people requires you understanding the differences between real life violence and a video game. And she has a hard time understanding the difference between Disney movies and real life. So, like, sometimes she thinks life is a Disney movie. So, like, definitely not ready for violence like that in a video game. Besides, they're out there playing a Super Nintendo right now. Like, they are perfectly happy without having to play the latest and greatest games. Let me see. Thomas Mayer said, I watched my first rated R movie at 7. I went behind my parents' back and watched Terminator 2. Please don't take that for telling you what to do, just sharing a story. I saw my first rated R movie. God. What year did that movie come out? I gotta look it up. I wanted to see boobs. I'm being completely honest. I wanted to see boobs. Man, I was a decent age when I saw my first one. I saw Unfaithful in 2002. My parents rented the movie, and then I got up. I woke up, and Played it, the old VHS tape in the middle of the night in 2002. And at that point, I would have been, God, 16? Yeah, wow, 16 is when I first watched my first Rated R movie. I'd always wanted to watch other Rated R movies, but my parents wouldn't let me. And then I watched that, and then after I had like a serious girlfriend and we started going to movies, my parents started relaxing a little bit. And from age like 16 and up, like I obviously at 17, you can go to Rated R movies. At least you can in my state. But yeah. Just like I didn't have my first real drink until I was 21. Like I was a pretty good kid. Like my parents raised me to not really even desire that. Like the only reason I saw Unfaithful is because it said nudity on the back, and I thought Diane Lane was hot back then, and I was a horny teenager and wanted to see some tits. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it, you know. That, you know, my PORN back in the day used to be like Victoria's Secret, or like the lingerie sections of newspapers and advertisements and magazines. Like I was such an innocent kid. Like that was my hardcore stuff right there. It was so dumb. So dumb when I think about it today, and like you could just type something in a search engine and find it, and it's on our device. Your children might even have access to it. It's just like crazy. I didn't have access to any of that crap when I was a kid. Do you think we'll see a Sonic Legacy collection eventually, or do you think Sega Ages collection is how we'll get those older? I think Sega Ages is how they'll do it. The Genius of Battle says, personally, he expects the Direct to have any of the following: Luigi Mansion 3DS, Yoshi Switch update, Super Mario 2D title with online, not only local. Okay. Retro Studios, new game that I've been working on for the past 4 to 5 years now. Totally love a sequel to Kirby. Amazing Mirror. Okay. If you drink beer, are you a fan of Spotted Cow? No, I don't like Spotted Cow. I like Red's Apple or Angry Orchard. That's another good one. I also like, in terms of like, I actually like this one. Like, not like I drink it because it's cheap or I drink it and I can tolerate it. I actually like Red's Apple. I also like Red Strawberry. The blueberry one I'm not a fan of. So like the fruitier beers, and then I like, you know, the Miller Lights. It's just kind of a go-to. You know, if I want to shotgun a beer, I do a Miller Lite. I wouldn't shotgun a Red's Apple because I just enjoy it too much. It feel like a waste of beer. But for something I don't enjoy that much, I'll shotgun that, no problem. Just stuff like that. Those are like my go-tos. There's other beers I drink too, but I don't really buy them, you know, to have. Like sometimes I'll go to a bar, someone else will buy me a different beer. And I've tried a lot of different beers, but not a fan of Spotted Cow. I've tried Spotted Cow. What's up, Melee Man? Galaxy Gamers, can I talk about Switch Online? What do you want me to talk about? There's not really a lot to talk about. I've made my video on it, and that's everything we know. So what more am I supposed to say? Talk about crossplay. Like, what about crossplay? What do you want me to talk about? I've kind of already covered these topics before. Like, what do you want me to say? You learned to read from playing Pokemon and Zelda. I learned to read from reading books. So... for reference, kids in Smash, age 9 for OG, not allowed. Age 11 for Melee, allowed. I played Smash on N64 when I was a kid. That's why I'm like, you know, I played it and it didn't really... But, you know, I was a different kid and it was a different time and a different era. I think my kids would be fine with it. The thing is, my kids have played like Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo Classic. Like, they've already played a fighting game. And I think, you know, they know that, like, Pokemon aren't real. Mario's not real, so I think they would be okay with a fighting game like that. I don't think they would associate that with, like, because they do this in a game, it's okay for me to punch my brother in the face. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen, but I guess I don't know until they play the game, and then I see how they slowly start to mimic the game in real. Because, you know, like, yeah, we have imaginations and we pretend and we do things, but, like, do you have that thing that stops you from actually being like, well, Mario punched Bowser and KO'd him, so now I'm gonna punch you and KO you? Like, make sure my kids understand that that's, you know, and I'll probably talk to them before the first time they play Smash. I talked to them before they played Street Fighter. Because I'm like, you guys aren't going to understand what's going on, but I told them that that our lives don't exist with bars. There's not a health bar in our life, right? Like, you don't get slapped around a bunch and then die. But, let me see here. Yeah, Reds are good. Miller, got to support Miller Park. That's not why. I mean, you could argue Miller because they got to support Wisconsin, but that's not why. I just like I don't really like Miller, but of all of the cheap beers out there, the Coors Lights, the Ice Mountains, the Bud Lights, all those kind of beers, I just dislike Miller Lite the most of all of them. I wouldn't ever say, even my acquired taste beer, there's times I'll take a drink and I'm like, that's not that bad. Like, you just enjoy that taste of the hops, but then after a little bit, it's like, like, it's really not that great. Beer is a very much an acquired taste. Then when I have this, I'm like, yeah, this is like adult Kool-Aid. Hell yeah. Give me more of that. Give me that adult Kool-Aid, baby. Makes me feel really nice and toasty after a six-pack. What about the Direct tomorrow? What am I supposed to say? We've been talking about the Direct like most of this Q&A. Nate, when Smash Ultimate drops, will we have tournaments for subscribers? Assuming that I can set up online tournaments that people can sign up for and I can individually add people in and blah, 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 you gosh darn know we're going to do it. I wanted to do it with Mario Tennis Aces, but they don't allow us to do it. So if it's allowed to be done with Smash, we're going to be having Nintendo Prime Smash Bros. Tournaments. Yeah, I'll participate. Yeah, I'm going to get wrecked. It's all right. I really hope they include a spectator mode. That's the big thing, because I would love to watch other people playing online matches in the tournament and be able to live stream that to you guys and like make it a community event. I think that would be really sick. But we'll see. Don't really know how in depth it's going to be because we haven't seen anything about the tournament mode yet. Like actually seeing it in action, the online one. My parents got Mortal Kombat for me and my bro. They seen the violence and returned it for Pokemon Stadium 2. It's Pokemon Stadium 2. Wasn't that Pokemon Coliseum? I don't think there was a Pokemon Stadium 2. It's Pokemon Stadium and then Pokemon Coliseum. Either way, those are both good. I like Pokemon Stadium better than Coliseum. But do I play Fortnite with Game Over Jesse? I have never played a single game with Game Over Jesse. So that should answer that question. Hey, Soul Eater 23, how's it going? Jared Cooks, for sure, I understand how it is. I like craft beers, but I still enjoy a Coors and Bud Light and cheaper. Yeah, I mean, it's cheap. Like, the Reds, this is like $8 for a six-pack, whereas, like, I could spend, like, $5 and get a six-pack of Miller, or, like, $10 and get an 18-pack of cans like I have right now. I still have some Reds left. I got 2 Reds left on my six-pack, but I've been kind of substituting the Reds for the cheap shots. Because I was doing wine before, and I'm just kind of mixing it up. So now I got Reds for the cheap shots I do during my night streams. And then I have some harder stuff in here. And I need to start slowly rebuilding up my liquor because we went through all of it like months. We went through it before my surgery, basically, back in June. So I really need to rebuild that up so I can have some more crazy fun nights that involve some shots. We had some shots last night. I was feeling it a little bit. Those root beer shots. I mean, as tasty as they are, man, they can screw you up pretty quick. Boy, I'm winning the tournament if you do it. I think there's like a zillion people that think they're going to win the tournament if I do it. Stadium 2 was gold / silver on Game Boy. Coliseum was what? Stadium, what? Yeah, root beer shots. I'll show you. I could show this. Kids, drink responsibly. AKA, wait till you're old enough to do it and don't overdo it. Same to adults. This is root beer schnapps. 20%. So not the highest percentage I've done. There are root beer that's a higher percentage, but when you go higher than 20, it usually doesn't taste very good. This one, especially chilled, it tastes like doing those little, you guys know those little root beer barrels? Like the little suck candies? That's what this tastes like. And you do a shot of that, oh, it's so good. But, like, because it's good, you'll do, like, 3, 4, 5 shots of it and not think anything of it. And next thing you know, you're like, whoa. And this is the cheap version. Like, what I spent? $2.99 on sale. I mean, not originally. Originally it was, looks like, sticker price of $12. And then it got reduced to $5.99 too because no one was buying it. But it's funny, too, because it says 12 here. But then there's, like, an officially licensed sticker here that says $6.99. So funny. That, the upcharging stores do. It's hilarious. Anyways, it's cheap. But as I said, all I got's the cheap stuff now. I gotta re-expand to get my more expensive. I gotta get the tequila back in there. So the next time I get a $100 donation, we have a good time. Or I guess you guys have a good time, and I try to hold down my least favorite alcohol. Let me see here. Talk about Minecraft. I don't like Minecraft. So there you go. I talked about it. My daughter likes Minecraft. She's a good person to talk to about it. Switch Online info will probably be in the Nintendo Direct tomorrow. Dynamic Kirby. I can almost guarantee that. Have I tasted birch beer? It's similar to root beer? No, I have not. I've done like a lot of the alcohol sodas because you guys know like I like my pop, but none of them taste good. All that hard sodas, then none of them are good. It's not like the lemonade. Like Mike's Hard Lemonades taste good. The hard sodas just taste like garbage. Like, and it's weird too, right? Because like we'll have mixers all the time. You'll have your Captain Cokes and all that stuff. But those are fine to me, but like for some reason the hard sodas are just disgusting. I don't know what they're doing in the process of making it, but it's gross. Doesn't matter what flavor you go with. Do you have stores in your area that sell different types of soda? Yep. I mean, obviously you get Pepsi and Coke products everywhere, but there's different brands and different kinds of soda that you can get at different stores. Sometimes you go to stores that like you wouldn't think you could buy it from, but then they have like a cooler, and then they'll have like unique sodas in there. We have an ice cream parlor downtown that sells a lot of different types of just standalone, like one bottle at a time, but a bunch of different sodas that you usually can't get anywhere else. Sometimes it's nice to go down there and get a cone, or a dish, and then grab a soda, wash it all down when you're done, or water, obviously, as I should be doing. You were busy making dinner, didn't see the stream. Yeah, I mean, I gotta head. Well, I'm not making dinner yet. It's not dinner time yet. I don't start making dinner for another half hour. So, what will be game of the year? God of War. I would say. I mean, Spider-Man's going to be up there. Pokemon and Smash, I don't think have a shot in hell to be up there. I would love to see Starlink Battle for Atlas be in contention, but I just don't think it's going to be. It's probably going to be one of the PlayStation 4 exclusives, either Spider-Man or God of War for this year. Like Spider-Man and God of War are there. Zelda and Mario Odyssey, like we had last year for Nintendo. They had their God of War and their Spider-Man this year. Like that's their big 1-2 punch. Yeah, Octopath Traveler is not going to get enough love to get Game of the Year. It'd be nice, but it's not going to get the kind of love it needs. I wouldn't be surprised if they lump it in with indie games just because they can. It'd be like, it's the indie game of the year, but like it's made by Square Enix. Come on. That's like so unfair to so many other indie games. Have my kids ever played Yoshi Story? Isn't that on the SNES Classic? They played some Yoshi game on the SNES Classic. I think it was Yoshi Story. So yeah, they have. Although I end up playing usually for them because they get confused. Like they don't even realize you could like turn people into eggs and throw them. Like I had to teach them that. I guess I understand it. It's a weird mechanic that you don't see in a lot of platformers. Will we get a new Zelda 3DS title? No. No. The entire Zelda team is working on Switch stuff. N64. What about the N64? N64? We'll glance over on Twitch here. We got a few questions over on Twitch I want to get to here, even though I think those people might be gone by now. But I'm not ignoring you guys on Twitch. I know sometimes it takes me a bit to get over to your questions. Go with the Craig says, hey, Nate, it was funny. Last time I was on a Q&A, I asked you about the physical edition for Shovel Knight, and the next day they announced it, right? It's like you were psychic. Elizabeth says, what happened to your Zelda blanket in the background? It's on the floor. You guys can't see it. It's on the floor underneath my table here. Maybe you can kind of see it if I lean back. You can kind of see like the edge of it down there. It's on the floor. We had to take it down and put up my other green screen across it because now we recorded the podcast against this wall. And we needed to make it so that green screen extended out a bit more. So thankfully I have an extra green screen thing to do that with. So now I cover up the closet door with that, and it keys out just great and works awesome. Also creates more room for for Eric and I, which was a complaint we had before. We were really cramping ourselves in the corner. Now we have more room to actually move and feel free. It's not perfect because our webcam can't frame it just perfectly right. I really, really, really want to get the capture card so I can start using my camera right here, so I can start using this for all of our live streams, especially it won't be for every live stream, but for live streams like this where it's just me on camera, or live streams where it's our podcast or something like that. I really want to use this, but I need a new capture card to do that. And the capture card I need is like at least $100 that I just don't have. I can tell you one reason I don't have it is I just put a pre-order today down on NBA 2K19 for Nintendo Switch because Giannis Antetokounmpo is on the cover. I mentioned this. I put it a pre-order today on Amazon, which of course I didn't get the discount because they're not really applying the discount to everything anymore. But whatever. Hopefully it'll be here day one like next week. And yeah, I didn't get the special edition because I wanted the Giannis cover. I know I could have bought the special edition then printed off the Giannis cover, but it's not the same. Not the same. I need the OG Giannis cover. You know, it's just like I still have a box of Quarterback Club 98 or something. 99, one of the two. The one that Brett Favre was on around somewhere. Because it's just like collector's reasons. Big sports fan. Crossover of video games on my favorite platforms. Hell yeah. I know there's other things right now I'm not happy with 2K about, but I mean, they put Giannis on. They got me with Giannis. Let me see. Go with the Craig suggests that Blue Point Studios, who did Shadow of the Colossus remake, might be able to do a good job remaking Ocarina of Time. Maybe, who knows? Zelda. Nintendo's very protective. Also, I should give a shout out. I didn't notice this last night. This probably happened after our live stream was over. But Noah Linger, about 9 hours ago, I guess it happened way early this morning, is our latest patron on Patreon. He became a $1 backer on Patreon. Thank you so much for your support, Noah. Give you a shout out for that. Let's see here. What we gonna? Oh, I already talked about that. What's my favorite Nintendo franchise? The Legend of Zelda. Easy peasy. Don't even have to think about it. Since I can't ask anything, what's the strange bowl to my right? This is a bowl that like a week ago I had popcorn. This I don't remember what this dish was used for. It wasn't food. I think I was keeping like change in here, like quarters and stuff like that. And then when I went to the bank, anyways, I gotta bring those upstairs and get them washed. I just haven't done it. I know it's been here too long. Like I said, that was from a week ago. Been down here way too long. I gotta get upstairs. I don't think I have any other really dishes hanging around in here right now. I think I did good getting the rest of them upstairs. I do have my new 2 Nintendo Prime glasses down here. I need to go wash though. They're not really that dirty. They just have water in them, but the water's been in them for like a month. So I should take them upstairs and just toss them in the old dishwasher, which I'm out of dishwashing soap for. Go figure. Can't go to the store because the only working car we have right now is gone at Yulia's work, so need to get my car fixed too. Lots of things I got to get done. When will I do another Fortnite stream? Because yesterday was fun. They're just random. Usually I don't do Fortnite streams on my scheduled stream nights. I try to stream some other stuff. But like random. Like if I do an extra bonus stream tonight, it'll probably be Fortnite. But I don't know if I'm going to be doing a bonus stream tonight. I might just decide I want to get another video done and then play some World of Warcraft. Or I might decide that I want to do it on the stream. You know, it's kind of a fly by the seat of my pants approach. That's what happens when it comes to Fortnite. What games am I playing nowadays? World of Warcraft, Madden 19. World of Warcraft had a new expansion come out, so that's why I've been playing that. So World of Warcraft, Madden 19. I've also been playing Fortnite. I've been playing... Hold on. Let me glance. The problem is, a few weeks back, or a month back at this point, I sold my entire physical collection of Switch games because I was in desperate need of money for a bill, and that got the job done. The problem when you do that is that a lot of those games were games I wasn't done playing yet, like Octopath Traveler. I haven't finished it because I don't own it right now. Pees me off. So let me see. I've been playing... My kids were playing that. Hold on. Fire Emblem Warriors is one I've been playing a bit lately. A little bit of Fallout Shelter and a little bit of Hollow Knight. So it's basically been Fortnite, Fire Emblem Warriors, Hollow Knight and Fallout Shelter lately on my Switch, and then Madden 19, and World of Warcraft on my PC, and I haven't really been touching the Xbox lately. I probably would own Madden 19 on Xbox if I had an Xbox One X for my 4K TV out in the man cave, but oh well. Bit random, but you listen to Kamikaze? I have, and I love it. I don't even know what that is, so. Oh wait, is that's Eminem's new? God, see, I haven't listened to it yet. I'm like, why does that sound so familiar? All right, that's Eminem's new album. Haven't listened to it yet. I heard it's pretty good, but I haven't listened to it yet. Any games I'm looking forward to in 2019? Fire Emblem Three Houses, the new Pokemon game. Besides that, I mean, other, yearly releases like NBA and NFL and stuff like that. But we don't know a lot about the 2019 lineup yet, so. Have I had any drifting problems with my Joy-Cons? I had trouble with the left one for a while, but today it got really bad. Cleaning it won't do anything. It keeps walking me off the ledges. Have you tried recalibrating, and have you tried updating? I used to have that issue with my left one. I recalibrated it, and that fixed it for a little bit. Then it came back, and then I actually manually updated my Joy-Cons, which I probably should do right now, is update them. I haven't actually looked at an update for them in a while. I'm trying to remember how to update them. It's been so long since I've updated them. Anyways, you got to update your Joy-Cons. That sometimes fixes it as well, because sometimes there's an issue in the software. Because, yes, there's software on your auto-update software. Okay. I'm going to have to... I don't remember how to update them. Well, I don't have them turned on right now, so they're not even showing up. I swear in the Direct tomorrow, if Nintendo will announce a Metroid Prime Trilogy for 3DS instead of the Switch, I will burn my Switch. God, I don't think they'll do that because of Metroid Prime 3 using motion controls. I don't think they'll do that. I mean, what do we know? Anything's possible. It is Nintendo. I didn't think we were getting Luigi's Mansion on 3D. I mean, I get why we're getting it, but it's like, but in many regards, the game looks worse than the GameCube version. Why? If you decide to get a tattoo of a video game character, which one would I choose? Link. Don't even have to think about that. It'd be something from the Zelda series. I'd probably do like a Triforce or something subtle. But I'm not big on tats, so I'll probably never get one. But if I did, it would probably be Zelda related. Like I might even do like the Triforce and then do the 3 names of my kids inside the Triforce. So Melody, Holly, and Aiden. And I'd probably choose like, courage, wisdom, and power. Which kid I think fits which Triforce slot. I think that'd be kind of cool. Mark Greenberg, Spider-Man is coming out in 1 day. Yep. Robo Legends asks, of course, a political question. Because one thing we don't talk about here is politics and religion. But I've talked about before, like I am Roman Catholic. Don't care if you agree with it. Doesn't really bother me. Life moves on. Am I Democrat or Republican? Neither. It's a pretty easy one for me. I vote for the candidates that I believe in. Doesn't matter if they're a Democrat, doesn't matter if they're a Republican, doesn't matter if they're Libertarian, doesn't matter if they're whatever. Centrist, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what they are. I don't care about what party affiliation somebody has. I care about what they stand for. What law, I don't even necessarily always care what they stand for. I care more about what are they actually going to do in the position they're getting, whether it's governor, whether it's senator, whether it's anything like that, whether it's a member of the House, whether it's, local treasurer, national treasurer, like whatever I'm voting on, I look at more so what they are going to actually do when they're in power, more so than what party they happen to be affiliated with. So there you go. That's about all I say on politics. I don't, it's such a touchy subject with so many people. It's just not worth talking about. Do you think we get Pokemon and Smash demo on the eShop? Pokemon maybe, Smash no. You had to sell some Wii U games, some old DSs, my Xbox One for bill money. Being an adult sucks. Yeah, I don't have any of my old stuff. I have a DS here still because no one will buy the DS. So I have a working Nintendo DS in my collection that no one will buy. So that's why I have it still. I've literally everything before Switch, all my 3DS games, all my 3DSs, they're all gone. Done, toast, all sold to pay bills. Now my entire Switch physical collection sold. Sucks. I'm going to get it back someday. Now that my fiance is back working full time, we're doing a bit better because now it's not just my income paying for everything. She's now helping pay some bills. She actually just helped pay some bills today, which was like, I was shocked. I'm like, oh my gosh, you got paid and you're going to help pay bills? Hallelujah. Because I've been paying bills all on my own for 8 years. So it's good. It's nice to see her willing to contribute. And you would figure we're going to get married, right? So she should be willing to contribute. But she has, for personal reasons, she hasn't had a full-time job the entire time I've known her until now. So, but there's some reasons behind that we're not going to dive into here. I know the treasure track reports were handled by NST. I don't even know who NST is off the top of my head. Sounds familiar, but I will never get a tat. Not a fan of doing something permanent I can't change very easily. I mean, you can get them removed, but I heard it's a painful process, and sometimes you have to like go through it several times over. Who would be a better fighter in Smash, Trump or Obama? Jeez, not even going to dignify that with a response. How do you feel about flat Earth? Come on now, guys. You guys in the political, and that's not really even a political question. It's just a stupid question. The Earth is round, guys. Like, it's scientifically proven. And you can call science a liar if you want. I've been up in an airplane, and I've seen the curvature of the Earth. Like, you can see it right outside of an airplane. It's not like they're lying to you about it. You could see it. If you ever just go out and look at the ocean front, you can see the curvature. Like, it's not flat. The world is not flat. It's just not the way the world works. But, you know, flat earthers are fun. I remember when Kyrie Irving was being called a flat earther because he said that the earth was flat. And, like, it turns out that he was actually joking about that comment. He doesn't actually think the earth is flat, but people will never let it go that he said that. I tried everything. I ended up ordering new ones, but I'm still hoping I can get it to work again. Oh, the Joy-Con. Good on Yulia for getting over those reasons that Nate doesn't want. Yeah, it's just it's stuff. Some of the stuff I've talked about before with her. I mean, she's an amazing woman, but no one's perfect, and we all have things we're working through. And you know, I'm very proud that she's working at a job that she seems to enjoy. She's able to handle full-time hours for the first time since I've met her, you know, 8-9 years ago, and everything's just been looking on the up when it comes to her. And I'm so proud of her for that, and I'm glad that it's working out. I'm glad she's, you know, she feels good helping out around the house, you know, helping cover bills now that I don't have to just pay on my own. That's great. I mean, it's not just like great for me and what I'm doing and trying to support the family. It's just great for her mental well-being and everything. I'm really proud of her. I don't care if she was only making $7.25 an hour. She's not making $7.25 an hour. But if she only was making $7.25 and working at McDonald's, it wouldn't matter to me. It matters about how happy she is. So, any news about Mother 3? There's never news about Mother 3. So, do you think that Waluigi will be in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Yes, as an assist trophy. He's already been shown as an assist trophy. He's an assist trophy. So, yeah. He's in there as an assist trophy. What do you think of the Crunchyroll controversy with High Guardian Spice? Don't even know what you're talking about. Don't even pay attention to Crunchyroll, so beats me. My wife thinks my belly is round, but I always tell her it's flat. NST is the Nintendo studio located in the NOA headquarters. NST. That is not NST. Okay. I mean, you're probably right. I don't know everything about Nintendo, so. I told her the rate to having to sell my stuff to help support my family. Best of luck on that. Yeah, I mean, we're okay now. Obviously, I got pizza. I've got my soda and my beers, and I got a little booze back in the house, and like we're doing fine. We're doing a lot better now. But a month ago it was a rough patch, and I knew it was coming because I had surgery. I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, especially the newer followers. I had surgery in June. It wasn't like major surgery. It's funny. Every time I kept saying when I was at the hospital that this isn't major surgery, the nurse would like just stop me right there and be like, "This is hernia surgery. We're cutting you open. Do you understand that non-major surgery is getting a tooth pulled? Anything more than that's considered major surgery. I could die on the table. Like trying to we're not trying to freak you out, but stop acting like this isn't major surgery, because just because there's more dangerous surgeries doesn't make this surgery less dangerous. So anyways, double hernia surgery at that, right? And in my recovery from that, I was unable to work my normal hours at some other jobs I have. I was unable to get out. I was able to get out a good amount of content here, but not necessarily all the live streams I wanted to do, which for those who don't know, I do make probably about 50 to 60% of my revenue at Nintendo Prime through live streams, through donations and super chats, and your guys' lovely support of what we do on Patreon, stuff like that. That's what enables me to continue to do what I do as often as I do it, including this live stream. But for that 6-week period, I wasn't able to do that normally. I wasn't able to do my other jobs like I wanted to, and because of that, the financials just crashed hard. And yeah, you're set for a little bit because you have a little bit of savings, you have a little, you still have a few paychecks coming, but then like a month back, that's when all the revenue from those 6 weeks came in and hit, and it's like, that's not even close to enough to cover half the bills. And you're like, what are you gonna do? I don't want to sell all my YouTube equipment because then I can't do this anymore. Easiest thing to sell was to grab my Switch games, which hold their value since Nintendo game prices never drop. Go out and sell those and make, $300-400 and try to cover the bills as best you can with that, and then stretch it out and see what bills you can pay late and pay the late fee on. I don't know if any of you guys have ever lived paycheck to paycheck, but that happens sometimes. Like, you're like, oh crap, I have a bill right now we haven't paid yet. That's not getting paid till the 15th. It's going to cost me an extra $30 because I'm waiting till the 15th to pay it. It's life. But after this month, we're going to be back to normal, as I should say, back to no longer on that paycheck to paycheck life. We'll not going to have a ton of extra money, but we'll be able to live comfortably. We'll have some money starting to get built back up in the savings account, which will be nice. I can't wait. The one day to glance at my savings account and be like, hey, look, I have an emergency fund. There's like a few $1,000 set aside in case something happens. Maybe we can finally get our cars fixed. That's a big thing. I want my car fixed so I can take my kids out and do stuff like I can't right now. Ugh, sucks. But we'll get there. It's a great thing for us that most indie games on Switch are so cheap. $60 isn't feasible as it used to be for most. I mean, I dispute that because $60 today ain't crap. You can wipe your butt with $60. Like, if you think that $60 is tough today, imagine what it was like back in the early 2000s and the late 90s. And there were games that were more than 60 back then, but like $60 back then, like just working, it would take you like half a week's worth of work to make $60 to buy a game. Like $60 today is nothing. You can earn the money for that game in less than a day's worth of work. Like video games are not too expensive when it comes to the $60 price. We can argue it's too expensive with the microtransactions and the loot boxes, but the actual $60 base price of some games, or games like Breath of the Wild or Odyssey, where like they don't have that extra charges on there, like $60 is cheap, man. We're talking about games that have hundreds of millions of dollars invested into them compared to back in the day when they made it on shoestring budgets with $100,000 in their pocket, and charging $60 back then when $60 is worth a hell of a lot more than it is today. So it's concave all around. Jeez. Why won't Reggie give us Mother 3? Because it's not up to Reggie. My kids are yelling for me. Hold on, I gotta see. They're arguing over something on Super Nintendo. What's up? Guys? Hey. Melody, what was that? Did you just pinch it? What are you doing? You need to be nice. I'm trying to figure out something that you can do. Okay? Stop that. I understand you need some bananas, but I need to figure out dinner. Oh, those kids are fighting over Donkey Kong Country. I've been there when I was a kid. Selling games to pay bills is kind of sad. I mean, I don't know. I've been a person who's had to sell my gaming collection over and over again throughout my life. It's such a normal thing. It sucks because you end up spending way more on games than you want because then you rebuy games and you ultimately are losing money in the end because you rebought the game like 3 times. I've already rebought. I rebought Doom. Granted, I lost Doom, but I bought it again, and now I'm gonna have to buy it a 3rd time. It's like, oh, you're losing way more money than you're getting back. But it's life. What are you gonna do? You know, the things you have that have some intrinsic value that you can live without are the things you sell first when you need money. Any games from your childhood you're excited to introduce your kids to? Secret of Mana. My 2nd favorite game of all time. It is on the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. They have not played it yet. I can't wait. I'm basically waiting for my middle child, Aiden, who's 5, for him to learn how to read. Once he knows how to read, I'm going to introduce him and Melody to Secret of Mana at the same time. Because so at one point in the game, you can play it multiplayer. You can't at first, but you know, I'll teach them how to play, and then once they get to the multiplayer part where you can control multiple characters, I'm really hoping that they find they want to beat that game together. They like playing games together, so even though they're fighting right now, Aiden's tired. I can tell you that. The way he's whining right now, he's tired. He had a long day at school. Did I cover direct predictions already? It's all in a video, man. What do I think the second team at Nintendo EPD Tokyo is working on? I have no idea what you're talking about, so it beats me. Gotta put your family before games? Always. How many Doom versions? No, how many copies of Doom? I've bought Doom, a physical copy for Switch, twice now, and now because I sold it, I'll have to buy it a 3rd time. I mean, at least Breath of the Wild, when I sold it, that was my launch copy. That hurt. So that's only the 2nd time I'll be buying that. And that game's well worth a 2nd purchase. But I wasn't spending my own money back then. I just feel like $60 could be put towards a bill or something more important for me anyways. Well, here's the thing. Video games are a first world optional entertainment medium. Here comes my son. He's crying. Yeah, what's up?
Oh, he's not being nice.
What happened? Come here.
He just said he's playing Donkey Kong and he
I know she's playing Donkey Kong. Why is she not letting you play?
No.
Did you ask her why she's not letting you play?
Yes.
What'd she say?
I don't know. He said no.
It's a 2-player game.
No, he won't let me play.
Melody, why aren't you letting him play Donkey Kong?
Okay.
Yeah, there's 2-player. You play 2-player. He's not with you, sweetie. That's not how that game works. It's 1 person plays at a time. And you know that. He's not Ollie where you play pretend like that. Aiden wants to play. No. You let Aiden play right now, or you're going to have to go on timeout for being mean to your brother. No. Let him play now. Okay, Aiden, go. Ah, parenting. Isn't it lovely? Isn't it lovely? My daughter likes to think she's the boss all the time, especially when I'm doing any sort of work-related stuff. She's like, oh, Dad's not in the room. I'm going to boss you around. I'm going to control everything. My sister was like that too, but see, I was the older brother. That crap didn't fly with me. Overwatch, Rhythm Heaven, New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, Mario Maker port with new features, and Persona 5 for Switch that I need, or any new announcement of Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing won't be announced this year. I mean, it could be. I don't know, but I'm like, it's not even a fleeting thought that Animal Crossing is even going to be mentioned. I remember back when putting $10 in birthday cards was the norm. My dad was one of the first parents to start and put 20 in them. I used to get 20s even when I was a kid. My grandma Berta would always give me 10. She still gives me 10 to this day. My grandma Janice, she was the one that would give me the big bucks. It was $50 when I was younger. Hey, Trey Grayell, we have a new $1 supporter on Patreon. Trey Graywell, thank you so much. It hasn't even popped up in Streamlabs today. Let me make sure that that's actually legit, since that's not popping up. But sweet, we have another. Yeah, that was legit. We have another backer on Patreon. Well, thank you so much for that. For those wondering, the last this Q&A and the last 2 Q&As will be up on Patreon later today in one post. I know I've been bad. I've been bad about getting the Q&As up on Patreon after the fact. I'm really sorry about that to our patrons. It's something that I know I got to be better about. I got to put a reminder on my whiteboard, like, remember to update Patreon, and do that like every day, because my goal is to get at least one post out on Patreon a day, whether it's a poll, whether it's a preview of something I'm working on, whether it's just letting you guys know ideas I'm thinking about, whether it's about live streams, whether it's just getting content up, stuff like that. I have a lot more things I need to be doing on Patreon than I've been doing, so I appreciate the support that we have so far, and I hope to live up to those expectations in the future. Yeah, my grandma used to do 50 when I was a kid. Now when I'm an adult, she does $100 bills. It's crazy. Yes, all my grandparents are still alive. I am very fortunate in that way. Knock on wood, that they're all still with me. All right, I think that's it. I think we've gone through everything. It's been about 90 minutes. Well, technically, there's like 10 minutes to go, but I got to start worrying about dinner for my kids here. It's funny that not many people talk about Samba de Amigo, Catherine, Jet Set Radio, and wanting it on Nintendo Switch. I see why people don't talk about Catherine a lot. It's a little risque. Great game, just a little risque. Not something that Nintendo is going to talk about a lot, and not something that people who play Nintendo games are probably going to talk about a lot. Samba de Amigo or whatever, and then Jet Set Radio. I'm surprised those aren't talked about a bit more, but I mean, you're still talking about smaller games and smaller fan bases. And here comes my son again. Here he comes.
Modi just did something to me again.
Come here. For starters, I'm sorry she's being mean. I'm going to be done here. You want to say bye to people?
Bye.
Yeah? All right, guys. I'm going to go deal with my kids and get dinner going. Thank you so much. I will catch you guys. Oh, there's my daughter. Come say hi.
Hi.
I got a question for you. Why are you being mean to your brother? Let the people know. Why are you being mean?
I didn't hurt Aiden.
I didn't say you hurt him. I said, why are you being mean?
No.
I think you know why you're being mean. I know why you're being mean.
Bye.
Hey, stop acting like a little baby. You are the big sister. You need to set an example for your brother. The example you're setting is, I'm going to do what I want, forget you, and then you're going to push. Not cool, little lady.
Don't pull on my new shirt.
I bought you that shirt. I'll do what I want with it. All right, guys.
That was funny.
Oh, my God. I don't even know what to say after that. All right, guys. See you later.